3 ways to use mushrooms that will blow your mind while transitioning to a plant-based diet. Hey, in case you don't know me, my name is Jason Chaney, and that's what we're going to dig into today. So here's take 2. This time I got everything charged up, so hopefully no technology issues today. And so because a lot of times people are asking me like, Jason, what do you eat? How do you give up meat? How do you supplement the meat? How do you, how do you prepare the foods that you eat? So I thought I would share with you today one of the things that I use as a meat replacement, and that is mushrooms. So I'm going to talk about 2 types of mushrooms today, but remember there's like hundreds out there. I still have to get out to Southeast Asia because there's tons of mushrooms there I need to try, and they're a lot more affordable there. And so the first one that we're going to talk about is Portobello mushrooms. Now you may be used to seeing them, whether it's the white baby portobellos or if it's either the big one, the big brown ones, which are the caps. Now with the big caps, these are really good because they have a meaty like texture. So one of the things I like to do is actually take a real big cap and I cut it into little slivers. And I just, what I do is I season it, put some sea salt on there, throw some barbecue sauce on there, and I just let it slow roast for about an hour or so. And that's just and what it is, it ends up becoming like a meaty texture, and it reminds me of ribs. And so that's one of the ways I like to do that. And that's why, I always say if you're in the private Facebook group, your food home is very important, because once you know your food home, you'll know how to start making the foods that you need so you can start eating while losing weight. And the second way you can actually use portobello mushrooms is you can just chop them up into chunks, and they make a real good stew. So one of the things I like to do is if I'm making like a chili or something like that, I chop up the portobello mushrooms into little chunks, and it gives meat-like texture to it, mixed in with beans, corn, carrots, snow peas, all of those different things, and maybe even lentils too. So those are 2 of the ways to use the mushrooms, to use portobello mushrooms. So the second mushroom that we're going to talk about is oyster mushrooms. Now you may have seen it before, you may have not. It don't matter. It's really good, and it's a very affordable mushroom if you go to an Asian grocery market, because they have them there a lot, so they're just a lot cheaper there than if you go to the conventional grocery market that most of us are used to going to. And so with oyster mushrooms, you can do so many things with these. These are my favorite mushrooms, hands down. So if you're in the Facebook group and you saw that one of the things that I made last week, I made fried oyster mushrooms. So these are very reminiscent of clam strips, chicken nuggets, anything like that, depending on how you actually season it. So if you want to give it like a more of a fishier taste, like if you want to make like for my Southerners out there, if you want to make your version of a po' boy with a cabbage slaw and all that, all you need to do is just add in some nori flakes, which is seaweed, or put in some black sea salt, and that'll help give it a more of a seaweed, fishy texture, fishy taste. And so that's a really good way to do it. And it just tastes good, even if you're just using it with, eating it with ketchup, barbecue sauce, French fries, and fried oyster mushrooms for the kids. It's a real great way to start incorporating new foods and start transitioning to a plant-based diet and getting off of certain meats. And if you're in the group also, you know that like I don't recommend using oil because of the omega-6 ratios in it, but there are different ways to actually still have your fried foods without being too detrimental to your body with the omega-6s. So if you want to know more about that, just click the link up above or below and just join the group, and that's where I share more of those actual in-depth things and some of my secrets of how I actually continue eating the way I eat. And so now the last way to actually, I know I said 3, I'm gonna just give you 4 because I really love mushrooms. The last way to use oyster mushrooms, and this one's gonna shock you, so hold on to your chairs. You can make a mock Philly cheesesteak with oyster mushrooms. Because the texture of it is stringy, you can string them and shred them apart, saute them, season them up real good, make your own plant-based cheese sauce. One of the ones that I love to make is with potatoes, carrots, and a red pepper. It tastes so good and it looks just like stadium cheese. If you're used to that old nacho stadium cheese, it looks just like it and tastes better without clogging up the arteries. And so you can make your own mock Philly cheesesteak with it. And I know you're probably like, how in the hell do you eat Philly cheesesteak and still lose weight, Jason? This is why it's so important to know your food home. If you learn your food home, you will still be able to eat all the foods you love and enjoy and still be able to lose weight, no problem. Like right now, after I did the last 7-day jump start, I lost 3 pounds on the 7-day jump start, and I'm now down another 2 pounds today. And this is very easily attainable for anybody out there. And so if you like this information and if you wanted to learn more about the little tips and secrets, some of the tools and gadgets that I actually use to make plant-based life easier and to keep my food home intact, or if you just want to know more about how to find out about your food home, just click the link up above or below, depending where it is on your screen, and just join the group, and I'll see you in there and talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.